Hello and welcome to How Not to Make a Game. I've been making games for 8 years now, so hopefully you can use my experience to avoid some of the mistakes that I made and just be more informed in general. My fourth game was Interrogation Simulator. I was just in the process of wrapping up Grid Slayer, which I also did a video on, and I decided to give myself a little break. Instead of relaxing or doing normal things in my break, I started making a new game. So there's my first mistake already. So, where did I go wrong? Like I said, number one, I should have been taking time off. I've said this in a previous video, but making games is really hard. Making games by yourself with no training and while maintaining a day job is really hard. So you need to look after yourself. You need to rest strategically. You need to give your creative muscles time to repair, otherwise you'll just be spinning your wheels. It's like if you're lifting weights or something. You don't want to do the same muscles every day because then they won't repair, they won't get stronger. You'll just be doing more work for less gain. So for example, I took a proper break this Christmas. And when I came back, I made a crucial improvement to my latest game. The game is objectively better now. I don't know why I didn't do it before, and there's no reason that I wouldn't make this improvement. And I couldn't see it until after I took a break. It's like seeing something with fresh eyes. Stepping away from the painting for a bit. So you're not this close to it, you can actually see what's happening on the picture. So number 2, know thyself. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Not who you want to be, not how you wish to see yourself, but who you really are. So I really see myself as someone who is interested in game mechanics. Everything kind of goes through that lens. I don't see myself as a dialogue writer or storyteller. I'm not particularly interested in murder mysteries or things like that. I was never a fan of Sherlock or Poirot. I enjoy a good murder mystery, but I'm not a fan of them. So while I had fun coming up with the mechanics for this game, the rapport, the pressure, the matching evidence with lies, the whole time during and after I was thinking, this is trash. Everyone's going to hate this. People might say, cool idea, but horribly executed. And I was okay with that because this was just a month-long project that I was not emotionally invested in. It was just an experiment to see how it went. I honestly expected mostly negative reviews and the potential of having to take it offline because people would cringe so much. Ideally, I would be able to hire someone to do the writing for me and I would just come up with the mechanics, but can't hire anyone. You need money for that. I charged £2 per copy and dashed it out there with basically zero marketing. When I released it, didn't even have music. I put that on after the fact. But it turns out that at the time of writing, Interrogation Simulator is my most popular game. It's the most critically acclaimed, and it brings in the most money per month. It is by all measures the most successful game, followed by Blacksmith, my first game. Have a look at the reviews on Steam, and you'll see that I was totally wrong about how the game would be received. So what's the lesson here? Sometimes the thing you think you're worst at is actually your strength. Perhaps you take it more seriously because you think you're at a disadvantage. Or perhaps you take it less seriously because you're not so bothered about it, and therefore keep it simple and don't overthink it. Your identity is not attached to it, so you get into a flow state easier. The idea that you think is going to be your magnum opus might be mediocre trash, while your throwaway idea that you thought was a joke might be your most successful product. It's incredibly difficult to develop the instincts to really know yourself and the games you make. It's actually very rare that we're able to get an objective measure on ourselves. So I have to thank Steam and all the people who reviewed the game for that. It's really rare that the people around you will actually tell you what you're doing right or wrong. But user reviews en masse and click-through rates don't lie. So maybe you think you're a really warm-hearted and giving person, but in my experience, the people who present that way are often the most callous and self-centered. Maybe you think you lack confidence and people find you boring, but actually people think you're a really good listener and love you for it, and they're on the edge of their seats whenever you do decide to share something about yourself. Don't get attached to the things you love about yourself, and don't feel bad about the things you hate about yourself, because the chances are you're only right half the time. Just be in the moment, be objective, and do what you can with the time that is given to you. So my advice here, once again, is just go for it. Make that idea you came up with. You will learn something about yourself. My takeaway from this isn't that I'm actually a good dialogue writer or something like that. It's just that now I have more data points to measure myself by and the ideas I come up with. Maybe it's a reminder to keep things simple and not to take myself too seriously. Either way, I'm more informed on my next move and how I should do it. It's more of an instinct and experience than a simple, now I know this. So number 3, know your worth. So once again, as in with all of my projects, I've totally neglected marketing. I've had a build it and they will come mentality, which is totally misguided. If you spend 1 or 6 months working hard or something, do your diligence and give it the finish and flourish it deserves. You may want to simply start fresh on a new project. It's like starting a new save file in Baldur's Gate or Factorio. You've run into some corners, you failed some things that you wanted to succeed at, your factory's turned into spaghetti, and it just feels easier just to start a new one rather than fix the one that you have. It's like if you're cooking an omelette. If you make mistakes, if you get it wrong, if you miss up the seasoning or burn some bits, it's easier to just start a new one from scratch than it is to fix the one you've messed up. But you need to finish what you started, and properly. It's really very important to get an objective assessment of the work you've done. Don't trust your own judgment of it. And see if marketing and polishing is worthwhile to reach a bigger audience. It may turn out that it's not worth it. It may turn out that it is. I should have realized that this game was better than I thought it was. It sounds like a humble brag, but it's actually just a failure on my part. It's like a game of poker. When I had a bad poker hand, I bet high. And when I had a good poker hand, I bet low. So I didn't win any prizes. I should have shown it to more people and given it more time to percolate on the Steam store before releasing, so I could see that actually people liked it. Then I would have, as some reviews have suggested, worked a bit harder on the visuals and UX and charged a bit more for it. I should have scientifically tried to get an objective measure of the game before pushing it out there. So in my latest game, Warbeans, I've done just that, and it's allowed me to see that while the gameplay is solid, the art style is very unappealing, and the trailer really needs to make the USP clear in the first 5 seconds. I've had objective measures and feedback that overrides my personal biases and blind spots, which I hope is going to help me do a lot better next time. Maybe it's just not that good and I should focus on something else instead. Maybe I can drastically change the game and turn it into what could be successful without losing all the work I've done. The point is, find an objective way to figure out what is good and bad about your game, what is working and what isn't working, and fix it before releasing it. So you don't waste all the work that you've done up until then. You don't undersell it and you don't oversell it. I'm well on the way with making a sequel to Interrogation Simulator, and I've put a bit more effort this time. And I'll see if I can pay some smaller interrogation YouTube channels to advertise it, because clearly it's worth spending a bit of money to advertise it, worth gambling a bit on this hand. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of How Not to Make a Game. Please press like if you liked the video and subscribe to see more like this and watch me develop my next game. Please get involved and tell me what mistakes I'm making and how I can do better. So cheers, thanks for watching.